Hey, what's happening out there? This is Halftime Prep Talk. We're coming at you from the home of the Musketeers and also the site of the 16th Region Baseball Tournament. I'm Aaron Snyder. I'm with Zack Klemme and Matt Sparks, and we are going to talk about 16th Region and 15th Region softball and baseball tournaments. And you're watching here on dailyindependent.com, and guys, your initial thoughts on the bracket, we'll bring that out in just a little bit on the famous whiteboard. But we just had the draw today at Greenup County. Of course, the softball tournament is going to be hosted by Ashland. What are initial thoughts? You look at the bracket a little bit, and of course, Ashland, 6-time defending region champions in softball. Can they do it again?
I think Ashland's got a good road to the finals. I think number 7 is in the future.
Wow. Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
Baseball side, the bottom bracket is really the tough one. Greenup County and East Carter kind of drew away from that, so that definitely benefits them. But you've got Boyd, West Carter, Rowan County, all down there in the bottom half of the bracket, so should be interesting to see what happens with that.
Check out the Chick-fil-A ticker for region tournament schedules. And we're going to go to Covering the Bases, brought to you by Distinctive Specialties in Raceland. Covering the Bases, first base, we're going to go with who is the best pitching team in the region, baseball and softball. So who is the best pitching team baseball-wise, Zach?
Well, a popular answer will be Greenup County, as we'll get to in a second, but I think East Carter's a little bit overlooked. And actually, you had in a column earlier this year, you talked to Chandler Adams about that a little bit, and he's not one that's short on confidence generally, but they have
he's not short in general either.
A good one. That's a good point. They have a good 1 through 3 with Adams and Jordan Walburn, and Austin Floyd can come in behind those guys, and they've got some other guys that they can bring on in the relief. They are not as deep maybe as Greenup, but their top 3 are as good as there are a top 3 in this region.
And as far as, looking at pitching softball-wise, what do you think, Matt? I mean, good options out there. I was talking to Coach Stewart from Boyd County, and he said there are so many teams that have 2 quality options. It's kind of an unusual thing.
Yeah, I know. Most of softball, you see the one pitcher just dominate the whole game, and maybe pitch the whole season. But now you see that most coaches are now going to the two pitcher option. Maybe to give their starter a little more rest. But I think it's the best pitching in softball. That's a no-brainer. We go Megan Hensley. It's a no-brainer. She's been dominating this region for many years. Probably will be dominating the ACC come next year at Louisville. I think Ashland's got a solid number 2 in Megan Murphy too. Could bring in and really give Heath a little relief and pitch some solid innings.
Wow. Like we said, quality pitching. Laura Thompson from Boyd County, Montana Fouts, Alabama commit, from East Carter. So
I was going to say, no brainer. You just earned yourself a spot on some bulletin boards with that one.
Yeah, Derek Calhoun has your face on a dartboard right
now. Would be the first time.
All right. How about hitting wise? Let's go baseball first. Zach?
Boyd County is done as well as anybody in this region. I think 1 through 9 they are as complete a lineup as there is around here. There's some others that are decent, but Boyd is just, they have speed, they have power, they have guys that get on base really well. I mean, when you got a guy like Zane Purcelli in the 9 hole, then you got a double lead off, and then we've talked to Dylan Grimm and Jacob Barnwell, and they've got a lot of RBIs, but you got guys like Purcelli and Jordan Smith that get on at the top of the order. It doesn't make hitting easy, but it makes driving in runs a lot easier.
And those guys can run.
Yes, they're fast. They're gazelles out there. I mean, Jacob Barnwell doesn't run like a normal catcher.
No, he has 20 stolen bases as a catcher this year.
They've got just about everything that you would want out of a lineup offensively.
Hitting softball-wise, I think we stay at Boyd County. There's some good lineups, from top to bottom. Matt, you've seen Raceland some. They're in the district championship. They beat Russell in softball, the first district title since 2007. From top to bottom, they have a pretty good lineup as well. But I think I would have to go Boyd, unless you want to dispute that.
No.
Okay.
No, probably not.
I'm going to go Boyd. Laura Thompson hits as well as she pitches, and Destiny Goins swings a pretty good stick. I've seen her, actually hit Megan Hensley pretty well. She didn't in the district championship, but she has in the past. So they have some good options from top to bottom as well. Some good hitters out there, but overall, East Carter has some good hitters as well, by the way. And Whitney Hall, Tori Qualls, and Montana Fouts.
I would say Racing maybe not have a lot of power in that racing lineup, but they really put the ball in play. They've gotten better as the year's gone on, and they could be a real tough out.
And they run the base as well.
Yeah.
So I'm picking Boyd County as the best hitting team in softball. How about what do we have? We haven't hit fielding yet, so let's go fielding. Baseball-wise, fielding. Who we got?
Well, I think the best fielding team is right out here at Greenup. We talk about speed. They have a lot of athletes on this team, a lot of speed. Maybe not their best fielding game in the district championship against Russell, maybe an off night, but
5 errors.
as you see, Gage Hughes made a couple of errors, but then came back and made a great play in the field to maybe to stem the tide there for Russell in the one inning, and got a lot of speed in the outfield as well, so they're very tough.
Of course, Greg Logan likes to refer to Gage Hughes as the Derek Jeter of Greenup County every now and then.
They got arms too. You see guys go in the hole down there down at third base or to short and make a real long throw that you would not expect most high schoolers to make. They're very complete.
Fielding and softball, I think, some of the most sure-handed gloves out there are, again, in Boyd County. I said they were the best hitting softball team. Also think they might be the best fielding softball team. And, 2 out of the 3 categories ain't bad.
No.
And that's going to make for a really good region tournament. Softball-wise, we're looking at 6 teams, guys, with 22 or more wins. 22 or more wins. And the first game that'll be kicking it all off on Monday will be Boyd County and Fleming County, and that'll be at noon at Ashland. Raceland, we talked about. Sean Johnson, has one of the hotter teams in the region right now. And it really kind of stems back to the Greenup County game that you covered, where they had, 16 runs?
16 runs. They were down 8-0 in that game and scored 11 runs. I believe in the 4th inning. It was, it just seemed like Greenup cannot get them out in that 4th inning, and a very exciting game. I think it really turned their season around, I think.
Yeah, and Sean Johnson talked about that today.
We've played a really tough schedule this season. We've played a lot of teams that are ranked. The beach trip always prepares us for the All-A. It kind of jump starts us, and then the All-A is a springboard in the district tournament. And fortunately, things worked out for us, and the plan came together as we had laid it out. And when that happens, some special things can occur along the way.
A couple of quality pitching options you do have, Cassie Fultz and, of course, Haven Lane, the 8th grader. Coach Wheeler, do you know which direction he might go?
No, I don't know at the time. That's his call, but both those young ladies have done a tremendous job for us on the year. I think going into our district tournament, they were like Cassie back 114 number of innings pitched, and Haven like 108. So both the girls have had a lot of experience and done a great job for us. So obviously, whoever coach feels like gets the best decision, he'll go with it.
Do you think your girls will be looking forward to the challenge to maybe facing Montana Fouts?
Well, not just that. Just I think they got a bad taste in their mouth after what happened in district championship game. We didn't play our best game. Raceland played really well, and hats off to them. But we didn't play our best ball, and we got a chance here to next 3 days to get things right and get ready to go, and hopefully come out with a better attitude and focus and ready to go.
Brown was in our district, and they had Amber Riddle, who was a Kentucky Miss Softball, who turned out to be Kentucky Miss Softball that year. And I bet the girls early on, I had the long goatee, and I said, and they hated it. So you all win district tournament, which meant beating Brown. They can shave it off. And of course, we won it that year, and 09, won it again in 10, and it kind of became a tradition. So this year, I've realized a couple things. One, I really like the beard. And they needed something to, I guess we needed to go beyond that now. We expect to be in the district championship game every year. It's just our expectation. So it's time to grow that a little bit. Let's push it a little harder, make it a little farther. And so, now I've told them, hey, region championship, and they can shave it off.
All right, Coach Stewart, you guys drew Fleming County at noon on Monday. So you guys had the first game right off the bat. Do you like that, having the first game?
I like the first or second game. I just soon get there and let's play. It's the best time of year. It's the postseason, and I'm really looking forward to it. Fleming County is a formidable opponent. They've had a pretty good season. I got to watch them once. They've got a pretty nice little pitcher, and they got some girls that can hit the ball well. They're a solid team. It's a tough first round match.
Yeah, a little mystery there. You said you got to see them once, but you guys didn't play them.
No, we've not played them in probably a couple years now. But like I said, watched them there at our tournament against Cabell Midland, and I saw a lot of good things. So, Nathan does a good job with that.
Just want to say thank you to all the softball coaches who talked to us today. Now we're going to talk about 16th Region Baseball, East Carter and Fleming County right here on Monday, 10 a.m. Fleming County gets the opener in both softball and baseball. Baseball-wise, though, East Carter bright and early, who's going to be on the mound? Your opinion?
For East Carter?
Yes.
Well, Jeremiah Shearer wasn't here at the draw today. So I think he maybe knew he was going to get put on the spot. But again, this is no disrespect to Fleming County, but honestly, if you're East Carter, you're trying to win this thing, you're looking ahead to the second round in the potential matchup with Granite County, and you want your best on the mound in that game. The thing is, even if you're throwing off, so to speak, East's off is not everybody else's off, so they've got 3 good options, like we said earlier. If they want to throw against Fleming, then that might be okay, and then they've still got 2 decent pitchers for Granite if they manage to survive that Fleming game. So, I mean, honestly, you think maybe Jordan Walburn or Austin Floyd or Chandler Adams, any of the 3. I know that Coach Shearer really likes the leadership that Adams brings, and he's been pitching well of late, so he may not take any chances, and he may go with his most consistent guy first. It'll just be interesting to see.
All with ERAs under 2.
Yeah.
So
I would say that's the toughest decision for coaches to make in a real tournament. Who to pitch, when, on what game. I think maybe some coaches believe that you want to get off to a good start. You pitch your number 1 in the first game, so then you get off to a good start. You get a little momentum going. But with Walburn or Adams, I think that is. I think Adam might be the best pitcher, but Walburn is not too far off.
They're 1 and 1.
They
may not have a true
2 really
and 1B with Floyd.
Yeah.
There are 3 really good pitchers there.
Yeah.
He's got there.
And Greenup has about 4 or 5 guys that are all about the same. None of them will blow you away. They throw about 79, 80 tops. A couple of them do. Some of them don't even hit 70.
Excellent control, though, across the board.
But excellent control and command. Steve Logan has done a nice job with those guys, and they've been solid all year.
And who really, in the district final, came on Zach Hayden. He's got a wrinkle on that pitch. Greg Logan mentioned Greenup was not making plays defensively behind Wireman, who was getting ground balls for outs. So you bring in a guy who's got more of a wrinkle on his pitch and a strikeout, and Zach Hayden was able to provide that.
Plus, he looks like he's in a punk band.
He does.
But you got to have pitching depth, and I think that's a big plus for Coach Logan and Greenup. Sometimes your starter does not have his best stuff, and then you can just you feel confident enough to bring in one of the other guys and just pitch as good as one of the starters could. So I think that's a huge plus for Coach Logan.
Brown County and West Carter, we think we know who we're going to see on the mound. As long as Ben Jordan is healthy for West Carter, he will be on that mound. 6'9", big tall righty will be on the mound going up against Cam Plank, a Louisville commit. So that will be a great matchup. Now, Boyd County and Russell, probably Jacob McKee for Russell.
Yeah.
But the $1 million question, who's pitching for Boyd?
I have no idea. I have to get with my coaches and kind of come up to a conclusion. My estimate is there'll probably be numerous people. Probably just try to get through it with whoever seems to be throwing well that day, just like we did in the finals with Ashland.
Do you have a preference? Offense for you guys, I know, isn't too much of a concern. You guys have hit well all year, but defensively had a little bit of shakiness, as we've talked about. And against Ashland, the district championship, had 4 or 5 errors in 1 inning.
Yeah, we have our moments that we seem to break down. I mean, we've talked about it. We've taken extra ground balls and did some live game simulations in practice, but it just comes down to guys have to make plays. When they're hit to them, they got to want the ball hit to them. And it seems like once we make one, we seem to compound them by giving more and more and more. Hopefully, we can settle that down a little bit here, Russ, there at Greenup.
Coach had 11 one-run games this season, and won 5 of them. I think that experience will help your team out in this region tournament.
Yeah, well, I hope so, but it'd been nice if we'd have been the other way around on the one-run victories. But that's just some growing pains. We still have a lot of young kids in the lineup, and hopefully, we can pull a couple out here at the end.
Can we expect maybe a Cam Plank versus Ben Jordan in the first round?
That would be great. That would be awesome to see that. People's been wanting to see it all year. We tried to schedule some games during the year, but for whatever reason, it didn't work out. I think a lot of folks would love to see that, and I would definitely love to see that as well. It'd be a fun game to watch.
You can't get caught up in that draw too much, but obviously there's some things that go into play, and that's pitching. Do we save pitching? Do we save this one? Do we save that one? Sometimes you can save yourself and you'll be eliminated. So I think we've done okay. The main thing is, if you look at Russell and how important that is, the district tournament win now, how important that is Russell and Boyd County. So it could have been us and Boyd County very easy. So the importance of it is the district tournament championship, and that helped us tremendously. So
the return of the whiteboard for 16th Region Softball. Here's the bracket, everybody. Fleming County and Boyd County. East Carter, Russell. Ashland, West Carter, Raceland, Rowan. Let's go through it, guys. Fleming County and Boyd County is the first matchup of the day. Who you got, Sparks?
Well, Fleming County is a really good team. Won 22 games this season, but they didn't play Ashland, Boyd County, East Carter. And I think Laura.
Should I get the red marker out? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because the red marker. I think Laura Thompson might be going to be the difference here. That might be a little bit of a shock and kind of her pitching right off the bat. I'd go Boyd County.
Okay.
Boyd.
Me as well. Boyd County gets past Fleming County. I'm like you, Matt. I think that Fleming has had a nice season. Megan Claypool does a nice job in the circle, but Boyd has too much.
I like Nathan Driver, like his beard.
Yes. We all like his beard.
Should.
How can you not?
I mean, goodness.
East Carter and Russell going at it. That might be the best first round matchup, in my opinion.
It is.
East Carter and Russell. Zach, who do you think? I mean, who do you think East Carter's going to pitch? You think they'll go Montana Fouts?
I think they will. I think they go Fouts every game that they're in. Jenkins is a good second option, but that is what she is. And I think Fouts, you got an Alabama commit. You don't mess around with that. And I think it's East Carter.
Russell has two options as well, as we talked about earlier. They have Cassie Falls and Haven Lane.
Russell's a good hitting team, but against Fouts, they may struggle. I think East Carter's going to.
You guys like East Carter? I'm going to go with a little bit of a slight upset here and go Russell. They have been kind of sneaky good this season, to steal a term from former East Carter coach Zach Moore. Remember that one?
I do.
So East Carter 2. See, at least I quoted an East Carter coach, and that might soften the blow. I'm going to go Russell. I think that game is going to be 0-0 for a long time. I think it's going to come down to defense.
Exactly.
Both teams better bring their gloves. And Fouts is going to be tough to hit, but I like Sarah Heineman to lead that offense to the semifinals. Ashland, West Carter.
Ashland.
Does West have a shot?
No.
They have a shot to score.
Okay.
They do not have a shot to win.
Okay.
Nothing taking nothing away from West, but Ashland is an exceptionally good softball team.
All in agreement?
Ranked top 25 in the state.
For a good victory.
Along with Boyd County.
Yes. Raceland and Rowan County has some intrigue. Raceland beat Rowan County in both meetings this season, but the second one went, 9 innings? Mm-hmm. Zach, you were there. Tell us a little bit about that game and what you look forward to in this
Raceland won on a walk-off. Morgan Curley scored from third on a pitch that got to the backstop. Now, they also played in the first game of the season, and Raceland beat Rowan pretty good in that game, but you've seen Rowan kind of take steps. Something that Coach Larry Sloan has mentioned is that they're still struggling with bringing it every day, but when you get to the region tournament, that shouldn't be an issue. You got to know that you got enough tomorrow after this. I think I like Rowan in what might be a slight upset. Two pretty equal teams, but Raceland's beaten them twice in the regular season, but the second game could have easily gone either way. And so for that reason, I think Rowan's ready to get a little redemption for it.
Raceland has a lot of talent, and they're underclassmen. Morgan Curley is just a freshman, correct? At catcher, and she has been tremendous this year.
She's exceptional.
Madison Johnson, a freshman, really good. Emily Johnson, 8th grader.
Have Riley Austin, an 8th grader at shortstop too. She's played really well. I think this is going to be a close game. I think Raceland is going to ride that momentum from the district championship win. Raceland's in the region for the first time since 2010. I think in a close game, Raceland wins.
Rowan faltered a little bit in the district championship. Give credit to Fleming for winning, but I think Raceland comes in here the hotter team, and that means a lot this time of year.
Well, I almost think, and I'll argue with you all a little bit, I almost think that a team that comes off a loss, a competitive loss in a district final, that gives them an edge. You got to worry if you're Raceland about Raceland. Usually they like the chip on the shoulder thing, and you don't have to worry about overconfidence or about getting too high too quickly. But you got to worry about maybe being a little flat in a game like this if they come out thinking, okay, we've accomplished what we need to do.
And plus, it's the last game of the day. That also can hurt Raceland a little bit too. They sit around and have to wait all day long to play.
Keep your emotions in check.
It's going to be really hot on Monday too, and so that's why I say it's going to be a close game. I think Raceland can pull it out.
Two solid coaches, Larry Sloan and Sean Johnson, going at it. Boyd County and East Carter for you guys. Boyd County and Russell for me. Who do you guys got?
No, Boyd County and Russell for me. Who do you guys got? Boyd County and Russell for me. Who do you guys got? Boyd County and Russell for you guys. Boyd County and Russell for you guys. Who do you guys got? No, Boyd beat East Carter a couple weeks ago.
They did 6-2.
But, Montana
Morgan Jacobs was in the circle.
She's a great pitcher as well, but they haven't seen Montana. I think Montana has really improved this year, and I think in a close game, East Carter wins.
Whoa! All right.
I like
Carter.
Boyd. Low scoring game, close.
Yes, I think
What it
very
may
low
boil
scoring.
down to is, like we said, Boyd County's got a pretty good defense. East isn't bad, but if somebody hits it to one of the Reeves twins or somebody like that, then they're going to go and get it. And I just feel pretty good about Boyd being a little bit more complete.
I think that maybe comes down to one play at the end. Maybe two. It could be a 1-0, 2-1 game there at the end, and a play could prove the difference.
East Carter, Boyd. I'm going to say Boyd in a really close game over Russell. It's a matchup of Jeff Stewart and Dave Wheeler. Dave Wheeler used to coach with Stewart at Boyd County in his first year at Russell. He's done a nice job, but I think his run-ins there. Boyd County has struggled offensively just at times this year, but they're pretty familiar with Russell, and I think they've struggled offensively against teams that they're not as familiar with. So like a Lewis County, Johnson Central, so on and so forth. So I like Boyd. So we got 2 Boyds and 1 East. Second semifinal game, Ashland Raceland. We're all in agreement about the matchup.
We are not either. I picked Rowan. Were you paying attention?
You picked Round. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No.
Gee whiz.
My goodness.
What am I even here for?
I blacked out. I'm sorry. So we got Rowan County.
Get the green one marker back out.
Yeah.
Wow. Larry Sloan in the semifinals,
Yeah.
according to Zack Klemme.
That's me.
We're in agreement, so that matters. Ashland and Raceland. Are you going Ashland over Raceland?
Yeah, Ashland pretty much handled Raceland both times during the season. Raceland had trouble hitting Megan Hensley, like most teams do. I think this might be a little closer game this time, but Ashland prevails. Moves on.
Same. Ashland.
Now wait a minute. You said Rowan has.
Hey. I said what?
You said Rowan's going to beat Raceland.
Yes.
So that certainly they'll have a shot against Ashland.
Yeah, they'll have a shot against Ashland,
Okay.
but Ashland is still more complete.
I just wanted to give you a chance to talk since I didn't listen to you.
Hey, I'm trying to give one-word answers and expedite.
I like it. Yeah, we got to get out here, don't we? They're going to kick us out. Logan's going to kick us out. We're going to go down to the batting cage next and take a few pitches. All right, Boyd and Ashland, 2 of us have it, and I don't know who the 2 are. Yeah, me and Zach. Who you got?
It's not particularly insightful or going out on a limb to pick a Boyd Ashland final at this point but I don't know how you would look at this and say they're probably not the most 2 complete teams in the region. And I think Boyd maybe has a little bit more of an edge. They played 3 times. Boyd has been right there with them every time. Boyd has not managed to figure out how to quite get it done. I think they go into this region tournament with a little bit more of an edge maybe, which, as Matt mentioned earlier, Ashland has an edge too because they lost to East late in the regular season. But I think it's Boyd's time to finally get it done.
Boyd County for Zack Klemme. East Carter and Ashland for Matt.
I feel pretty confident in my East Carter pick, but I really personally, I want to see them play again. Split the regular season, but East Carter, Montana shut out Ashland just a week ago. But you see the look in Megan Hensley's eyes after that game. I think she will be more than determined to rectify that and move on and give Ashland their 7th straight region title.
I think you hit the nail on the head with Megan's look in her eyes. She had the same thing going against Boyd County, so it's still there. And her control is as good as it's been all season. She didn't walk a batter against the Lady Lions. So I like Ashland over Boyd. We have 2 Ashlands and 1 Boyd, and baseball coming up. Before we move on to baseball, we must mention Lawrence County and Johnson Central are going at it in softball. 15th Region Softball starts Monday at Prestonsburg at 10 a.m., and that's the first matchup. That could very well be the region championship.
Solid game. I saw them play in the regular season, and they went down to the wire, and Johnson Central won it on a late home run in the top of the 7th inning. So very neck and neck in the regular season, certainly.
And in baseball, Paintsville and Lawrence County could meet in the semifinals. What a great matchup that would be. Johnson Central is in the bottom bracket. That is also being held at Prestonsburg. I like Paintsville to win the 15th Region Championship, and in that case, they would go to the state tournament and face the 16th Region.
Their first round game might be their toughest. Allen Central is a good baseball team as well. They've got a decent record out of another all-A school, like so many 15th Region schools are. And then Lawrence possibly, conceivably, in the next round, Lawrence has got to get past East Ridge. But Johnson Central may have drawn away from those 2.
East Carter over Fleming County is my pick. Do you guys agree?
I agree. East Carter's got quality starting pitching. I think East Carter is on.
So East Carter we like in the semifinals here at Greenup County, which will be played on Tuesday. This game will be. But also on Monday, Greenup and Ashland, the 1:30 game, or is it 12:30? 12:30 game, Greenup County and Ashland. Ashland is 8-18 this year. They've struggled, but they have been here before.
And they played Greenup reasonably tough the second time they played them in the regular season as well.
They have been here before, but they really lost most of their experience from last season. They really had no experience coming into this season. I think that is going to be a minus for them, and maybe Greenup moves on.
Greenup, that comeback win over Russell, I think is going to provide some nice momentum for them. And being here at their home field, they really play well. And they have a lot of grit to their team. I like the way they're playing. Boyd County and Russell might be the best first round matchup, with maybe the exception of Round West just because of pitching matchup. But Boyd and Russell, I'm not going to say toss up, but Russell is a dangerous opponent.
And they played well against Greenup County 3 times, 3 one-run games against the winningest team in the region. But Boyd, their lineup is exceptionally good, and Russell wouldn't say for certain who they're going to pitch. But if they do pitch Jacob McKee, he had a good game against Lewis County in the district tournament, but you wonder how much that took out of his arm, and also if he is the kind of guy that Boyd likes to face, because he's kind of a control pitcher, and Boyd tends to hit those guys all over the park.
Brandon Ramsey wouldn't say who's going to pitch for Boyd, but I would predict probably Dylan Grimm, the senior.
This is a solid bottom half of the bracket. If you have a barbecue on the holiday, I'd have it a little early so you can get to the ballpark to watch these two games. I think Russell has a little bit of confidence against Boyd County. They scored 6 runs when they faced at Addington Field. Had 6 runs in the first inning, and then the rains, clouds opened up, the rains came, and the game was called off. So I think probably gives them a little confidence. I think Russell, the key there is to get the lead early. If they don't get the lead early, Boyd County could pile up the runs and win. I'll go Boyd County.
Boyd County. I like Boyd County as well. Speaking of runs, Jacob Barnwell is leading the region in average, and I think he's up there in runs as well. He's hitting over 500. Dylan Grimm is driven in 60 runs.
State single game, single record of doubles.
Single season record for
season,
doubles.
For doubles, and Grimm's only 4 behind him. Grimm's got 24, so he could break that record as well.
They could both be in the top 2. That'd be something. Yeah. That'd be something. Round and West, Cam Plank, Ben Jordan is what we predict. So who's a winner?
Almost a coin toss.
It really is.
It's really a coin toss. Ben Jordan's been injured lately, so we kind of figured that he's still going to pitch. That really could go either way. I think maybe that could be a 2-1 game. I go Round County.
One thing that benefits Rowan a little bit is that Ben Jordan, whether or not he's healthy, he's not going to pitch real deep into a game. Traditionally, they've kind of held him back a little bit, which you understand why they're doing that. You want to keep him healthy going forward, and you don't want to spend all his bullets this early. So it works in Rowan's favor that Plank can almost negate him if their defenses play behind them the way they should. So I think that almost benefits Rowan if they're able to hang around, and if they don't do anything silly, get behind big early, then I think Rowan has an edge late. But West Carter can bring in a JT Johnson that's a decent closer or late inning guy as well. Caden Rose is not a bad pitcher. This to me is the most interesting of the first round matchups just because there's so much that goes into it. These teams are exceptionally even across the board. I give West Carter a slight edge.
West Carter slight edge. Okay, so Round slight edge, West Carter slight edge. Cam Plank is coming off a subpar performance against Fleming County. I don't see him having back-to-back subpar performances.
Plus their defense did not play well in that game either. That didn't help them.
Correct. And Justin Graham is the reigning player of the year in the area. He's not had the best season, but that's because he has a lot of youth and inexperience surrounding him. I think Justin Graham, with the bat in his hands and the glove in center field out there, I think he might provide the difference along with Plank. And I think just those 2 players, while West Carter might be a more complete team, I think those 2 players propelled them in the first round. So I like Round. I'm with Matt.
Remember, you need 2 markers for this one.
I know. I paid attention this time.
I like it.
And
we have a lot more.
got Round squared.
We have a lot more green in this show because we have no green screen. That's why I wore my green shirt today. I was really excited about the green shirt.
Disappearing.
Plus, you had to change after you got doused with the water cooler against, when Raceland beat Russell the other night.
Yeah, it was a good thing I wasn't wearing a white shirt. I got doused with the water cooler in my post-game interview with Coach Sean Johnson.
You got to be more fleet of foot.
Yeah, Sean still got a little quickness. Coach Johnson got a little more quickness still, and he kind of moved out of the way, and I got it right in the back.
See, Zach avoided one at East Carter. Shearer, they were coming after him, and Zach did a little twinkle.
I had the advantage. I could see him coming, and Jeremiah couldn't. But yeah, a little twinkle toes action. I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it.
East Carter and Greenup. What a matchup.
Phenomenal.
What a matchup. Matt, you like Greenup? You're wearing green.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Greenup. It's be interesting to see who East Carter will pitch in this game. I think that could swing it one way or the other, but Greenup's got, as we talked about their pitching depth, they could throw out a number of guys in this game. I think Greenup moves on.
I like East Carter. East Carter, other than Boyd, which beat Greenup in the first game of the season, which that wasn't not necessarily a true test. Neither team was baseball ready at that point. They've been trying to catch fly balls in the gym. That never bodes well for when you're trying to catch fly balls in the sun after that. But I think East Carter other than Boyd, gave Greenup its best games of any teams in the region. You throw Russell in there as well, gave him 3 tests, but East took Greenup to extra innings once, and they played him tight here in a 1-run game out here as well. I think East figures out a way to get it done. It depends on, to a certain degree, who they pitch against Fleming and who they have left, but I think they will consider setting up their pitching specifically for this game, and then they can do what they need to do with that. So.
How many seniors does Greenup County have?
Few.
Very few.
Very few.
Very few. East Carter has better senior leadership. That isn't always the biggest factor,
Right.
but I think it could be a factor in this game.
I'll say this.
Greenup County's at home,
Greenup
and they don't want to lose here.
Greenup's not playing exceptionally well right now. They've had a good comeback to beat Russell in the district final, but they were in trouble from the get-go. They didn't play great against Raceland, played well enough to win. East might be playing better than Greenup is right now. But again, you got a few days layoff, and that can negate that a little bit too. So.
I'm going with the Raiders. The Raiders! Ha!
Man.
And Matt Sparks is going Greenup. All right.
Voice of reason, perhaps.
All right, we have a Boyd and West matchup for Zach. Go ahead.
I like Boyd County more complete. A question with Boyd County is pitching. If they throw who they throw in the first round, then who they throw against West. But West will likely be without Ben Jordan, whether or not he's healthy for the first round game. And again, they've got decent pitching. But a good point in talking to Brian Hall, Boyd's assistant coach, earlier this week is that not only can other teams not scout Boyd, Boyd can't even scout Boyd because they don't know who they've got as far as pitching. They've got some injury issues that they're trying to work through, and their guys have been mostly inconsistent this year. But I think Boyd's offense is sufficient that they'll be able to get it done.
Yeah, and Boyd needs to avoid that bad defensive inning. It's been a bugaboo for them for quite some time this year.
And
really
West has the speed with base running to take advantage of that. If
They do.
So.
That's exactly right. I like Boyd as well over Rowan.
I like Boyd too. It's kind of like Zach said with West. Kind of hurts Round that they can't pitch Cam two days in a row. So I think that's why Boyd moves on.
Yeah.
You have Greenup and Boyd. Who's your champion?
That's quite the matchup there. I think it'll be interesting to see who Boyd pitches again in this game. With their lack of pitching this season, who is Coach Ramsey save for a possible championship game? I think Greenup at home. I think they're kind of itching for another regional championship. And I think that they put another banner out here on the fence out here, and I think Greenup wins.
Musketeers for Matt. Zach, East and Boyd is your championship matchup on Wednesday.
Yep. East gets here. I really like the way they're playing. You might call that a minor upset. You could say that they have 2 minor upsets in the semis and the finals if you pick East here, but frankly, I mean, if Greenup and Boyd are 1-2 in some order, East is right there nipping at their heels. So I like East in what you might call a minor upset.
Yeah. All right. Some diversity here.
Yeah.
Greenup County, East Carter, and I like Boyd County. I'm going with the Lions. They swing the stick so well, and they have that taste in their mouth that they want to get back to that state tournament and kind of redeem themselves for kind of a subpar effort against Connor last year. They just weren't quite what they wanted to be, and they kind of got ran out of Lexington by Connor, and they want to run back into Lexington and redeem themselves. So I like Boyd County. Led by their offense. Pitching and defense typically win, but Boyd's offense can overcome a lot of the question marks that they have.
And Boyd has an offense that if they get to that first round game against the 15th region tournament and the state tournament, then you got maybe a shot again. They can hit the ball a little bit, and whoever comes out of that 15th region will have a little bit of pitching, but it just remains to be seen because Boyd's played against they played against the Johnson Centrals, and they played Paintsville last year, not this year. They played Lawrence this year, so that we'll have some familiarity with them if they manage to get there. So has East, though. So.
It's very interesting that we all picked a different winner.
I know.
But I think the reason they'll be represented well, whoever wins in one of those 3.
3 good baseball teams.
Yes, 3 really good baseball teams.
And they'll face the 15th region winner in Lexington, and that'll be Monday, the week of June 1st. So, once again, this is HTPT, and we want to thank Greenup County for allowing us to invade their press box. We've enjoyed it. It's been a great day, and hopefully it's going to be a great week. We know it will be an exceptionally great week for a couple teams at Ashland and Greenup. So HTPT is sponsored by Fannin Automotive Family. Matt Sparks, Zack Klemme, I'm Aaron Snyder. See you next time.